Ethan says yes to a project he doesn't have time for. Again. The moment the word leaves his mouth, he regrets it. His calendar's already packed. He knows he'll be working late. He knows he'll be stressed. He knows he'll resent it. And yet he said yes anyway. Jake's watched this exact scene play out 3 times this month. Finally, he asks, "Why didn't you just say no?" Ethan opens his mouth. Nothing comes out, because the truth is he doesn't know. He wanted to say no, but his mouth said yes before his brain even got a vote. If you've ever watched your own mouth do the exact same thing, you know the pit in your stomach that follows. You smiled. You said, "Sure, no problem." While some part of you is screaming, most people think this is a willpower problem or a confidence problem. It's not. And that misunderstanding keeps people trapped in a cycle they don't even realize they're living. You've heard the standard advice. Be more assertive. Set better boundaries. Just learn to say no. None of that advice is wrong, it's just incomplete. It assumes you're making a conscious choice, but there's a hidden stress response most people have never heard of. And once you understand it, this starts making a lot more sense. You know fight, you know flight. You've probably heard of freeze. When danger appears, your nervous system reacts automatically to protect you. Fight pushes back. Flight escapes. Freeze shuts down. But there's a fourth response. One that doesn't look like survival at all, because from the outside it looks like kindness. It's called fawning. Instead of fighting, running, or freezing, you adapt to the threat. You become agreeable, helpful, easygoing, anything to keep things calm. Psychotherapist Pete Walker first described this fawn response, a survival strategy built around pleasing, and here's the part most people miss. Fawning isn't a personality trait. It's not who you are. It's what your nervous system learned to do. There's a real difference here. A genuinely kind person helps because they want to. A fawning person helps because part of them feels unsafe not to. The behavior looks identical. The motivation is entirely different. Quick test. Think about the last favor someone asked of you. Did you pause and actually consider it? Or did the answer flash out instantly? If it was automatic, that's your clue. Automatic responses come from conditioning, not choice. So where does that conditioning begin? Usually much earlier than we think. Imagine growing up somewhere, conflict felt dangerous, a parent's mood that could shift without warning, disagreement that created tension you couldn't predict. As a kid, you can't leave, and you can't control the adults. So your nervous system finds the only lever it has. Become easier. Become quieter. Keep everyone happy. Stay safe. And it works. That's why it survives. But your nervous system doesn't update just because your circumstances change. Years later, the danger's gone. The old programming is still running. Now a boss asks for extra work. A friend asks for a big favor. And the same survival system quietly takes the wheel. Not because you're weak, because your brain is running a strategy that once kept you alive. Back to Ethan. That automatic yes wasn't a character flaw. It was a survival pattern, running on old instructions for a threat that no longer exists. This is why people-pleasing is so easy to miss. On the surface, it looks like a strength. You're reliable, helpful, easy to work with. But underneath, you slowly lose contact with what you actually want. The real danger isn't that people take advantage of you. It's that after enough years, you stop knowing where they end and you begin. A few quiet signs. You agree before you've even processed the request. You feel crushing guilt for saying no, even when the ask is unreasonable. You spend more time managing other people's emotions than understanding your own. Because to your brain, someone else's disappointment feels less like an inconvenience and more like a threat. If that sounds familiar, don't use it to judge yourself. Use it as information. Awareness is where the pattern starts to change. This is where the standard advice fails again. Just set boundaries sounds simple, but you can't logic your way out of an automatic nervous system reflex. Knowing what to do isn't the same as being able to do it when the pressure's on. So here's what actually retrains it. 4 steps. 1. Notice the reflex. Don't fight it. Don't shame it. Just witness it happening. 2. Create a pause. One simple line does the work. Let me check and get back to you. That pause creates space between the request and the reflex. 3. Practice in low-stakes moments first. Your nervous system learns from real evidence, not from good intentions. Small wins are what count. 4. Remind yourself, discomfort isn't danger. Someone being disappointed in you doesn't mean you're unsafe. Someone disagreeing with you doesn't mean you failed. The goal was never to stop feeling anxious when you say no. The goal is to feel that anxiety and choose the truth anyway. The opposite of people-pleasing isn't becoming selfish. It's becoming authentic. You didn't learn to please people because you were weak. You learned it because at one point, it was the smartest strategy available to you. But survival strategies were never meant to become life sentences. Every time you pause before an automatic yes, every time you tell the truth about what you actually need, you teach your nervous system something new. The danger is gone. You don't have to disappear to be safe. If this helped you understand your own mind a little better, hit subscribe. Every week, we break down how your psychology actually works. Simple. Animated. No fluff. Let me know in the comments.